There we go. Now you can hear me. Aha. Yeah, you know why that happened? I was muted because I was passing through an audio cable because I was attempting to run through OBS to do multicam and I didn't do it. So we'll go over this again. So got this in hand. Yay. Um, the Cypher character rulebook in print. Very, very nice. Got some metallic ink on here, but it's translucent. It doesn't have that like hard mirror finish to it. So if you are moving it, it feels a little 3D-ish. You can see kind of the flare out where it hits. Really kind of cool. Back, very similar experience. The interior is really, really nice. And I do have a little bit of a crease on the end page there when I got on. So that just got chipped. That is nothing anybody did in transit manufactured. I got this in shrink wrap. But we're going to be looking at the interior and the physical product because I have the physical product of it. Pretty soon I actually have the interior design section of the video recorded and edited because I was going to put that in my original Cypher rulebook video, but it got a little bit too long. And I'll be running Cypher this weekend, so I'm kind of excited about that. Thank you for finding out that it was muted. Even see my levels wasn't going. My camera has low FPS because everything doesn't work. We're going to try to fix this. There we go. Come on back. Yay. All right. So one of the things I wanted to check out tonight, we'll see how long I can go because I got the cold back that I had at the beginning of summer. And I would like to check out the Cypher character builder for not Cypher system, Cypher. So we're going to put that out real quick. And let's see. Now, this is in alpha, kind of like a late alpha, early beta. The features are basically complete, so probably a beta. And excuse me, I'm going to cough. The features are complete. There's a couple of bugs that I've noticed that they're still working through. People who backed it have access to this. It's actually in the back of the player's core book, core rule book PDF. The link to it is there. But they've asked folks not to share the link just yet because a couple little bugs they want to get out. How hot is it there? It's pretty hot, Eric. It's not like awful, but it's pretty hot. But let's check out the Cypher character builder for Cypher. So, oh, there we go. That was the wrong screen that I pushed. So here it is. This is just a tab from my computer. URL is broken, is hidden, I should say. And I've been playing with this quite a bit. Been kind of fun. And right now I am trying to make characters that would work really well for the Ocean incident, because that's kind of what I'm working on next with Cypher. I do have 2 of the levels done. The 3rd level needs to get finished for my conversion, and then I'm going to play test. So that's going to be fun. Getting ready for that, and I got to get Dark Space next. But let's show this off. I want to go to, this is my character listing. One thing that it doesn't have yet, it doesn't have campaigns, so it's just all your characters in one place. The original Cypher character builder did have campaigns. You could split people up, which I thought was a really cool feature, and I'm hoping they bring that back. But again, this is beta, late alpha, early beta. Most of the features are complete, but some of the higher level features aren't there. But let's make a new character. All right, so you have all the genres that are in the core rulebook that are here. So that's Dungeon Fantasy, Swords and Sorcery, and it's all the subgenres. Dungeon Fantasy, Swords and Sorcery, Epic Fantasy. It's kind of interesting. Like I would actually, what they call Dungeon Fantasy, I would actually make Epic Fantasy, and Epic Fantasy, I'd make Dungeon Fantasy. It's just a split for the way that I'm thinking of it, but that's how they do it. Hard sci-fi, space opera, post-apocalypse, superhero, real world, and blank character. Don't want to make blank character. Let's just make a regular character. And I got 3 people watching. Thank you. Hopefully my voice holds out for you. So what I'm going to do is, and this is where I was struggling with Ocean Incident, because Ocean Incident is an alien style game, which would make you think it's more of a hard sci-fi, but it doesn't really, hey Stash, it doesn't really work as a hard sci-fi because I do have different species in it and stuff. And in fact, inspiration for it is less aliens and more an episode of Farscape. And if you've ever watched Farscape and you play the Ocean Incident, you might catch it. So I'm going to do a space opera character, which it's been kind of fun to do. So it's really quiet. Let me get that off the screen there. Howdy, not sure if I can stick around, but howdy. Hey, Matthew, how are you? Been enjoying your videos, unpacking, and your, what did you say, unhoarding, or I forget what it's like you're getting rid of stuff. It was pretty fun. So what we're going to do is a space opera character, and that'll give us a chance to do species, which are a little bit different in this game compared to Cypher system. So space opera it is. We'll go next. Now, this is very similar to Cypher system, but the steps are much more spelled out in this. It works a lot faster. So you get 6 points to spend, and we unhaul. Thank you. We're going to get some points to spend, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to make more of a beefy character or more of a thinking character. I think we'll do a thinker. And this has been the split that I've liked. So I do 3 on one, 2 on another, and 1 on the third. So 9, 10, 11 for that. And gets a little bit of balance. I don't want to totally overbalance people in one direction or another. This is a base character at this point, so it's got 1 effort, no edge, 2 Cypher limit, 3 moderate wounds, or 3 minor wounds, 3 moderate wounds, and 3 major wounds. The 3 major wounds is really that you can take 2 major wounds and the third one kills you. So it's a little bit of a misnomer there. So then we'll go, I'm sorry, I have this screen over here. I should bring it closer. We'll go over to next. And now we get to choose the skills that we want. So I've done a couple character creation videos for Cypher so far. And one of the cool things is a core character gets 2 skills to start. You can pick them. Here it's nice because it actually is already locked into the genre that I'm going for. So it's kind of filtered the list of things that are appropriate for that. One of the things that I really like about Cypher. And also the skills are all set. You can't just make stuff up on the fly. You got to work with your GM. So you take 2, but if you take an inability, you can take a third. I am one of those people who loves having is it still really quiet, guys? Because I have it way up and I'm hearing it pretty good. I'm unmuting. Let me turn this up a little bit here. But anyway, so yeah, it's pretty high up. That's interesting. Well, we'll see. If you take I'm one of those guys that likes to do an inability because I love giving the character a flaw. I think that's a lot of fun. And so that's what I'm doing here. Also, I'm talking a little quieter because my throat hurts. That might be it too. Sorry. So this is a thinking type character. So we're going to go down to some knowledge stuff. And now Magic Lore doesn't really work in hard sci-fi. That's probably should be filtered out if it chose that thing. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him do psychology because why not? And we're going to train skill. I like the idea. And a technical one. Let's do engineering for that. Now, do we want to give the character a third ability or third talent, I should say, by giving them an inability? That's where I was getting confused with the language, and I think I will. So this is a thinking type person, and I want to just do the cliche. I could be like, well, he's not very physical, and so he just can't do anything athletic, and he would fall on his face. Like that's been done so much, and I don't just want to make a Rodney McKay who just is like an inability of charm and it's like the most obtuse, obnoxious person on the planet. So, what do we want to give him as an inability? And I don't want to make him just naive. Like that's the easy trope for a thinking type character. I am talking quieter because I'm sorry guys. I'm trying my internet. Look at that. Oh, good grief. My connection sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I've got to go get my modem checked because everything's being off. I should probably not be doing this tonight. I just saw all your comments fly in, so I am so sorry, guys. Basically, I'm on descriptor now. And it wasn't even giving me a warning that it was off. It just said, hey, disconnected. So I don't know where I got lost. Anyway, inquisitive, intelligent. I don't like any of these descriptors, really. Not for him. Let's see. Bookish, appealing. You know what? It's the... So we have the archetype of the brash, socially inept or unlikable intellectual type. So why don't we do an appealing one? Why not? And choose your trained skill, charm, or recognizing motive. And here's where I want to build for the thing. In Ocean Incident, recognizing motives, probably a better skill to have. But, there's a couple points where you could charm. So let's do charm. So, yeah, so guys, here's what happens. So I'm on T-Mobile internet, and for whatever reason at night, it tries to jump me to a tower that's further away, and nobody knows why. And I think it's just that's a really old modem. So we're going to skip that. So hopefully it is a lot better now. So there we go. We're going to give him charm. And now we get to choose our species. So here's what would happen here. Species are very simplified compared to Cypher system, which would give you like a litany of things. And if you saw a stream and Dave did trying to make Cypher system species months ago, you can see how in-depth and detailed they are. And that was all wasted work, although not really, because I learned some stuff. Now it's very simple. So let's make him a Naran. So you're descended from a species of natural telepaths that communicate naturally mind to mind, not via spoken language. Cool. So you can't produce vocal sounds, but instead telepathically communicate with one, some, or all intelligent creatures within short range. Oh, that's cool. I could do stealth communication, like one-to-one. That would be kind of fun. You're trained in charm or deception, and you're trained in recognizing motives. So that would be kind of cool. So, and that's basically all I get from the species. There's a couple, like Draken, I inflict +1 damage with bladed weapons. PREORDER, you're trained in charm, gain an asset on a specific task you shaped your body for. So it's very simple compared to what things were. And I kind of like it. So we're going to do the Naran, and I'm going to give him Deception as a skill. And essentially, this is like a secondary descriptor. If we didn't want to have a species, we would just skip here. Because if you're human, you get to do a second descriptor. So if I do human there, choose the second descriptor, and it actually gives you the option to do it. But we don't want to do that. Of course, now I'm stuck. Darn it. A bookish human. I don't like that. Nope. Go back to Naran. There we go. Trained in deception. So if I didn't want to have species, we would just skip this and it would let me do it. So, but we're going to keep Naran. That'd be fine. So now we get to choose our foci. You can see the foci have a basically a link tree. And this is basically where most of your advancement comes from. There's 2 genre abilities that you can get at tier 3 and tier 6 in the game, and that's basically replaces the abilities you used to be able to get from your type. So most of your growth is done as your focus now. That's your verb in the character sentence. I am an adjective noun who verbs. And like I said earlier, if I was actually displaying any video at that point, because this connection stinks tonight, I really like how your type stays in place, as that's what you did before you became this PC. That's how I'm taking it. And it's your verb that continues. So you still have all your training, you still have all your instincts from that, but your natural inclinations have led you elsewhere, and then as you advance through there, you're going beyond what your type is. I like this setup a lot better. Hey, Jason, how are you? Is it jumping to the Dark Tower? Yes. Yes, it is. It's jumping to the Dark Tower. Very good, Eric. So let's see what we got for our focus here. Abides in zone? Nah. Carries a gun? Maybe, but he's a thinker type, right? Crafts illusions? Really, it's not limited. Fights dirty, fights unarmed, fuses flesh and steel. Nope. Mind a machine could work for the thinking type. Wireless interface, data processor, think fast. That could be kind of fun. I kind of like that. Haven't done this one yet either. So mentally communicate with machines in short range. It's two-way, but the machine must be willing and able to communicate. Okay. That would not really be helpful in the ocean incident because the computer is like fried. So that's not a good one. Data processor. I like that you have to spend intellect. Drawing upon stored information and the ability to process incoming data at amazing speed, you temporarily become trained in a mental task. Each time you activate this ability, choose one intellect skill. Oh, that would be funny. So I could actually temporarily erase my inability with computer systems. That would be hysterical. Like, I'm going to think really hard and do that. We're going to do that. We're doing Fuse's Mind and Machine. And think fast as your mind is quick and elusive. You are trained in intellect. Defense tasks make sense for the character. We'll do that. There we go. So we have 16 intellect, 11 speed, and 9 might. There we go. Cool. Let's go next. Character name. Thinned Quanton. No, Quantor. There we go. That's what I wanted. There we go. Because we're done. We're done. Genre sci-fi, subgenre space opera, might, speed, intellect. We can take 5 minor wounds, 4 moderate wounds, 3 major wounds. Again, you can take 2 and then the third one kills you. I've got 1 edge, 1 effort, 2 ciphers. I am trained in psychology, engineering, have an inability in systems operation, so he kind of tries to do old school with his engineering stuff. I just love the idea of a guy in a space opera like writing in chalk on the floor to try to figure out how to engineer something because the computer hates him. I think that's awesome. And then he does chemistry because, why not? Let's blow something up. So that's always kind of fun. And he is a trader. So he's got fast talk. Let's look at that. When speaking with an intelligent creature who can understand you and isn't hostile, you convince him to take 1 reasonable action next round. Spend one intellect. That would be kind of interesting. Smile on a word is probably a boost. Yeah, it's eased. That's cool. Excuse me. And then smooth operator. Stand up late watching a show with my wife. Purchase an expensive item that costs a moderately priced operator. You can use this item in a location where services and items are routinely bought or sold. Well, that doesn't really help for this adventure. So, oh well. Those are from the type. Pretty cool. So, Vend Quantor is an appealing Naren trader who fuses mind to machine and doesn't talk because he's a telepath. I kind of like that. Let's finish and save the character. And then you have the sheet here. Now, I have done this on my iPad, on my iPhone, on my Mac, and on my Books tablet at this point. Everything works. Works very, very well. Very good. There are some things that I have noticed that when you get modifiers to damage and it puts your weapon in here, it doesn't change the damage to the weapon type. So there's a couple of character, I think, species that get like +1 with bows, and he puts a bow in the equipment. You have an attack, and it just says 4 damage, and it should be 5 because you know, he's an elf. He gets a plus with a bow, or it was a ranger. I forget what it was. But kind of that's what's going on there. So kind of a little bit of a bug. It also has the ability to do a shield because that takes some wounds. There's minor, moderate, and major. Take one major wound and shield is kaput, and you can't just rest it off. You have to repair the shield in order to do it, but it is a huge damage soak. Like, shields are overpowered in this version of the game, at least according to me. Some people say that they aren't, and they've had different experiences, so we'll see what happens. But I do like this new setup. The character building is a lot faster. It's really, really cool. Say a whole lot. Very good. You can export the character, and you can actually export it as the special JSON file and import it into the character builder. So you get some portability that way. Kind of fun. You can also export as a PDF into the new character sheet. One of the things that I have noticed with that is that it does not put all of the text for your abilities into the sheet. So there is one character that I had that I had created him by hand, and then I went back and recreated him in the character builder. And there's one ability that you had like 4 options of something you could do when you activate this ability, and it didn't list the 4 options because it didn't put the whole text in. But when you look at it in the online version, all of the text is there. Because my voice hurts, and I don't know why. So that's kind of why. Sorry, Jorben. And people are sleeping, and I'm tired. And I'm losing my voice. So I got to save it because I'm running a game at a brewery on Sunday, I hope. So yeah, kind of cool. We can do another one really quick. Let's go to a new character. Let's have some fun. Start a new Cypher character. Yes, what was here? Oh, save changes. There we go. New character. Thank you. So let's try something new. Let's make a swords and sorcery character, shall we? So we want to make a beefy, a speedy, or a smarty. Smarties taste good. We're not going to eat the character. I'm tired. Have I pointed that out to you? So I've made a lot of speedy characters, especially with the sci-fi. So why don't we make a mighty one? And we have 6 points to give. So let's give him 4 points in might, and then 1 each in speed and intellect. So we're definitely creating a beefy type here. And just a core character at this point. So that's got all his points. Let's go get his skills. It also could be my mic is misconfigured. Who knows? So he is beefy, strong man. So that's kind of fun. Let's give him athletics, of course. Train in that. It's always fun to have trained in initiative, but I like that for speedy characters. Do we want to give him, like, should we give him something that makes him look smart? Nah, I don't think so. Let's give him recognizing motive, because he knows when people are trying to beat him up. We'll give him an inability in... Oh, man. I don't want to just do, like, the common tropes. Let's give him an inability in something that'd be funny. Like, he could be the barbarian and doesn't like magic. That's an old trope. The guy doesn't understand religion. That's an old trope. How about the guy's got an inability in healing? I just think that would be hysterical. It's just, I'll help you, and he just hits him with a rock. That would be kind of fun. And in place, or because if we take that inability, we'll give him 1 more skill. And let's give him... well, we'll give him tracking. Why not? All right, so we get a beefy type. He doesn't get how to heal things, like he probably tries to administer healing to people and be like, no, thanks, I'm good. That would be fun. And let's go over here. What type do we want? So we're doing swords and wizardry. We could make him an archer. We could make him an axe fighter or barbarian. Don't want to make him totally just Conan. Knife fighter or priest. Sorcerer, sword fighter, thief, 2-weapon. Let's make him a 2-weapon fighter. What do you think? We didn't give him a lot of speed. Hey, Glenn. Good to see you, buddy. I'm tired. My video was cutting in and out, so we're trying again. I've never made a 2-weapon fighter. Let's do that. Let's see what that gives him. All right, so Edge, he's got all enablers, so he doesn't have to spend any points to activate his type abilities. Kind of interesting. Let's give him Might. And then we're an expert combatant in 1 attack, and I think that gives us a... You are trained in a specific weapon attack of your choice. Medium range weapons. So at tier 2, you can choose to become specialized. Let's see what happens. So we're going to expert combatant. Let's do medium bladed. Why not? He's got a sword. Sword. All right. Then we're going to choose his descriptor. Yeah, Jorbin's going to come on and talk about 7 delving sins and also run it for me because every time he offers it, I'm busy. So, he's not cautious, he's not chaotic, he's not charming or clever. He could be guarded? Nah. Oh, we could make him honorable, like a carrot type, except he is smart. Kind, mechanical, mysterious, mystical, perceptive, resilient. Oh, I like that. Yeah, we're going to make him rugged. I like that. And we'll give him outdoor survival. Yay. Gotcha. Now I got to choose my species. So now this is swords and wizardry, so we could literally just skip having a species, which I think we're going to do. I just don't think we need to do that. Yeah, let's not give the extra abilities. This is a swords and wizardry character. It's going to be heavy to that trope, unless you're doing Thundar the Barbarian, in which case you can have mooks. We can make him Beastmaster. That would be kind of fun. Explores, fights dirty. I kind of like that. Kicking and scratching. I really do like fights dirty. One of my favorite is doesn't do much. It's not available on this one. Oh, there it is. It's essentially being the dude abides. Like the dude abides, man. He just wants to sit around and drink his White Russians and get his money for his carpet. Sneaks through the shadows. Nah, he's not that. Performs feats of strength. We could just go right on the nose for this, right? Because he is strong. Always mighty. Every time you use your recovery, if your might pool isn't already full, you get +1 point. Ooh, Ukla, the mook. Hitting harder, you inflict an additional 1 damage with unarmed attacks. Enabler, good. Inspiring display. Succeeding in the test, it depends on brute force, just smashing down a door. Choose an ally who saw you. The ally gets to regain 2 points in a pool of their choice. A chosen NPC regains 2 health. Ooh, kind of fun. That's kind of cool. We're going to do that. We'll do always mighty and hitting harder. We're just leaning into that strong guy mentality right there. So that's his 2 feat abilities, or his 2 focus abilities. So now we got everything done. Should we do a custom name? Nah, I don't like that. I like Bruce. There we go. Scroll down, that's the entirety of it all. Yeah, that was kind of like a feat tree. It's your focus abilities as you go up. It's not completely painful. Like if you miss one, doesn't mean that you can't necessarily get to most of the tree. There's a couple things that it skips over. That's new for Cypher system. Cypher system had a much more linear progression, but it was linear in two different places, and your choices were done on your type. That's kind of a little bit different. Ross Zacton. Hello, us. Hey, Skillum, how are you? I had a garbage week. Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm getting sick, so I've not had a great week. Yay, so there's a character. We made a character. Save that. I'll show you the export. So these are all the exports that you can do. So you can just do export the PDF character sheet and letter in A4, a Roll20 JSON, a Foundry JSON. I don't think that the Foundry package, like the free unofficial Foundry package, has been updated for Cypher yet. I'm going to look into that. Fantasy Grounds, plain text, Obsidian Markdown, which is kind of cool. I did check that out. That was kind of fun. And when does this video drop to the public? Jonathan, it's in now, man. It's up the first half of it. I might download it and then edit it to get only the second version up, because the first one, like, my connection just dropped and like I disappeared. It was a lot of fun. So you can do plain text. The Obsidian Markdown works really well, and then the MCG character sheet JSON is I could take this and not give the file to someone, or it's JSON. I could just like copy and paste the text to someone. They could save it as a JSON file and then upload it into their own account. No problem. So it's pretty portable. And export as a PDF. One of the things that I did say is that it doesn't put like all the character ability text in when you export as a PDF. So that's just maybe a bug that they're working on. This is not a public site yet. This is for folks who backed. We are not supposed to share the URL with anyone, but I did get explicit permission from MCG to be like, hey, you want to share this? I'm like, yes. And so here we are. Kind of fun. So there's that. We can make one more. Might as well give it a little. So I'll leave it to you guys. Skillum, you had a bad week, and I'm very, very sorry. So what would you like to make? So you're seeing all the genres there. Is there a specific genre you'd like to make something for? I will warn you, real world would basically get done very, very easy and very, very fast, because you don't get a type or a focus. And super rare I haven't done yet, so that might be fun, but I'll leave it up to you, Skillum. You had a bad week, so what would you like to do? Then I think after this, I'm going to bed because I'm tired. I also need water. And yes, I said water because I'm from Philly area. Well, from Philly, technically. Well, literally. Didn't grow up inside Philly, but from Philly. So what do you want, Skillum? We're just waiting. We're all waiting. I'm going, oh, you're building your own world, so you're going through all kinds of fun stuff in your head. That's good. All kinds of stuff in your head. That's fine. I want to build a super. So build a super. Hey, I haven't done a super inside yet, so this will be kind of fun because there's all sorts of stuff. Let's see how the character builder works differently, because supers get built differently, or have a little bit of a different setup, I should say. So let's make a speedster. I like speedsters. They're fun. 3 to there. I'm going to go 2 to might and 1 to intellect. There we go. Speaking of games, any update on the Ocean Incident? Yeah, I'm done the first 2 levels, converting of that. Got to convert the 3rd level, then we're going to play test that. Then I have to do the Dark Space one. I'm not sure where Dave is on his aspect of things. I keep wanting to write an update, and then life happens, or I get sick, or somebody else gets sick, and then people want to do things. Because, real life is real life. But Yes, there is an update. I keep trying to put that on, and thank you because I did tell you guys to poke me, so please keep poking. But yeah, it's going. And in fact, I just made a character that I'm probably going to be appearing in the Ocean incident. I have so much to do. This is something that I really want to do. So here's our kind of speedy character is where we're starting with the base, the core character. Let's go to next. And we're going to choose skills. So I do want to make a speedster because I just like that. So we're going to give the speedster initiative. We'll train that. And you know what? If they're really fast, we're going to give them a train skill in gathering information because they, flip through the books, even though everything's going to be digital. And then I always like to give the inability because I think that's a great character building tool. So I will do a character inability in this. And we, again, that's the common trope. He's really fast and he's always talking and people get annoyed by him. So we can give him like a, charm. He's like the opposite, but I don't like that. Let's do something fun. We could make him a terrible driver because he's so fast. He really just wants to run everywhere. And so when he has to get into a car in his non-superhero identity, he's terrible at it. Like he probably has like 140 parking tickets. I love that. Which now this means we can give him an extra ability or extra skill, I should say. I get those flipped for some strange reason. Let's give him a good one. We could make him Barry Allen, give him forensics. He's really fast, doesn't speak English, building Speedy Gonzalez. No old racism tropes. Although I did love Speedy Gonzalez. Well, let's give him athletics. So we gave him, I do want to make him agile. He eats too fast and gets bloated. I love it. No, he can't drive. He can't drive. And if we were going to play a superhero game, I would constantly be throwing things for him to absolutely have to drive. That would be fun. All right. That's a stereotype. Some stereotypes are good. That is true. So, and I did, Speedy Gonzalez was fun. Crime fighter. He actually did speak English a lot better than some of the people that I see running around wearing certain outfits nowadays. Vigilante, crime fighter. So this is the types. You can see that there's ranks. So there's 2 for each rank, and the higher rank you get, the more powerful they go. So an enhanced hero, rank 2, would be much more like the Flash type person. Rank 2. Superhuman. Okay, I want to read what the enhanced hero is. You're more than human. Something made you that way. Yeah, we're going to do this. He, Speedy Gonzalez did. They also had the slow Mexicans that were with him, though. It's like, so Speedy was running around, and then you had the other. Everything's complex, right? So, and I really did love Speedy. He made me happy. Andale, Eva. Take 3 minor, 1 and 1 minor wound, plus 3 minor, plus 1 moderate wounds. Cool. Plus 6 to speed pull, plus 6 to might pull, plus 2 to intellect pull. Nice. And we're going to definitely give him speed edge because we're making him speedy. Be good. Choose your superheroics pull. This pull gets plus 2 pull points. I mean, do we just want 19 speed? Yes. There we go. So now, yay. So now we get power shifts because essentially in superheroes and Cypher, to make it super heroic, you can see how big my points are right there for all my pulls because the abilities are going to be flowing fast and free. But also in Cypher Supers, you get power shifts, which are free levels of effort to specific tasks for something. So it blows the normal. You get 1 level of effort at first tier. Nope, I get 3 because I have this. So if he is speedy, We have 3 power shifts to do. Okay. So healing, so he gets an extra 1 action recovery per shift. Makes sense. Self-healing, right? Increased range, nope. Power, no. Resilience, no. Savant, no. Single attack, we can give him extra that. Accuracy, dexterity, dodging, movement, acrobatics, gymnastics, initiative, speed, defense, or ease by 1 step per shift. Probably that. I don't want to make him fly. I want to make him fast. Nope, 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 nope. Boom, 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 boom. You can make him more accurate. I could just make him 2 levels of dexterity. There used to be like a speed boost where I could like run really, really fast. I might have to do that with my focus. So we're going to give him 2 dexterity. Let's give him a background. They attacked you, trying to extract what made you special. Now you're dedicated to not only defend yourself, but go after everyone with similar selfish criminal. Nah. A scientist who early studied your abilities when they first appeared died 3 weeks ago. Okay, cool background. I like that. All right. Now, let's give him his... Oh, hey, Rev Gary. How are you? Good to see you. We're just having fun. I love the Muppet, Gary. That's very nice. Bookish, brash, calm, cautious, chaotic. Ooh, chaotic is always fun for a speedy type. I like that. We're doing that. And he's got trained in performance. Maybe he's a performer. He can memorize his lines really fast, right? All right, so choose your origin ability. Oh, this is the difference. That's right. So now I get an origin ability that comes from my origin. Awesome. Force field. Duplicate, extraordinary leap, fantastic armament, vehicle, instinct, incredible velocity. That's where the power shift is. Okay. There we go. That would be really cool, Gary. Did you? I got to make sure that Aaron gets to your installation, by the way. You can move a long distance as a first action instead of moving only an immediate distance as a first action, but your tasks are hindered by 2 steps. Okay, that's fine. Alternatively, you can take an action, then move a short distance as part of your turn instead of only immediate distance without your task being hindered. If you do nothing, then move 3 actions in a row. You accelerate greatly. You can move up to 700 miles an hour for about 10 minutes. That would be fun. Oh, yeah, that's right. She's going to be away. I remember that. She was planning on coming, but she said she was going to be away. She's like, the one time. Yeah, we're definitely doing incredible velocity. I can run 700 miles an hour. Come on. That's awesome. All right, let's get the foci. How fast? If he does nothing but run for 3 turns, he can get up to 700 miles an hour for about 10 minutes. So he's not quite the Flash, but he's pretty cool. We could have him fight unarmed. That would be kind of fun. That makes sense for a speedster type, right? Master's weaponry never says die. It'd be kind of fun to have a master's weaponry speedster that just is like flying through the air with a katana. That'd be kind of interesting too. You know what? We're going to go with fights unarmed. I like that. No need for weapons because 2 additional damage. And this is probably good because we can see if it puts the extra damage in. So normal unarmed strike is going to do 2 points of damage in Cypher because that's what a light weapon does. So we get 2 additional because of no need for weapons. Let's see if it puts that in when we add it to the thing. So that's going to be learned. And then body as a tool. In addition to making your body a weapon, you can use it as a tool. You can gain an asset to athletics and gymnastic tasks. Again, makes sense. I don't think resilience is a great thing that's just totally mechanical. I like being able to be like, hey, let's do 14 acrobatic cartwheels going, 100 miles an hour and see what happens. Very, very cool. Oh, granted by type. So I already have no need for weapons. So we're just going to get resilience anyway. So I got all 3. Woohoo! All right, we're done. Skillum, give me a name, man. We made a hero. I think you just want to call him Steve. We can change this. So Skillum, if you like something different, that's what we got. Steve Robbins is a chaotic enhanced hero who fights unarmed, and he's really fast. We would give him a different name. You call everything Steve. I do. Steve is my default name. I always have to have a Steve. Sometimes they're plants. If you read my novel, actually no, he's in the sequel. You haven't met Steve yet. Carrie has, because he appeared in my D&D campaign. No, I actually, here's the funny thing is that I was not in Philly when John took off. I was living in exile in Massachusetts when it really became like a regional dialect word, because it was like it really exploded in the 90s when I was away. And I came back and everybody's doing it. And they explained it to me. I was like, oh yeah, it makes complete sense. So like John is like ingrained in, it emerged from the psychology of Philadelphia. So much so that even somebody who was out of the area when it became popularized figured out what it was and go, oh yeah, I totally followed that. Like it just makes complete sense. I can't explain why, but it does. As I'm about to hack up my lungs. So let's go finish and save the character. Everyone is Steve. We called skeletons and zombie Steves. Yes. Absolutely. Very good. I was at the Whose Line It Is, and they taught those guys about John. They must have had a field day with that. So here we go. We got Might 16, Speed 21, Intellect 11. These are huge pools. But again, remember, your pools are no longer your health, so bumping them up just means that you can activate all your cool superheroic abilities really fast. I got 1 action healing because I'm really, really fast. Trained in initiative, gathering information. Inability in driving because he sucks at driving. Athletics and performance. All right, see, it did not put in an attack. It should have, because it should have been given my unarmed attack for 4 points of damage, but because I didn't have equipment, it didn't put it in. The old character builder actually would put that in there. So it's just one little minor thing you got to put in there. It's fine. Got 2 dexterity power shifts. Very good. Press advantage. Your damage dealing attack was 17 or higher. You deal 1+1 with the attack. Cool. And if you roll a 19 or 20, you get the extra damage and a cool special effect. Cool. Successive attack. Super heroics. Very good. All right, so he's there. Let's go back to my character. So first superhero made in Cypher. That's kind of fun. A little bit different. It takes a little getting used to. The rank system is a little bit different. So we'll see how that works out. But I am tired. I think I will download this from YouTube and then edit it and put up the last 3 that we did, just so you can see the character builder in all of its glory without me disappearing halfway through the first build. And this has been a lot of fun. So sorry again that I'm whispering. I am a little tired. Never played Cypher. Skillum. We are going to rectify that issue, and I hope you have a much better week next week. That would be really good. You can probably see me kind of like just crashing right now. I am very, very tired. We stayed up and watched a show for the last 3 weeks. We finished 4 seasons in 2.5 weeks. So I have not gotten a lot of sleep, which is probably one of the reasons why I've gotten sick. But it was really good. And I will tell you about it really quick because you will make fun of me, and I like that. So Jen and I, my wife and I, like to watch a show every summer. We try to watch something all the way through. So last year we tried Scrubs. We got to like season 4, and I think we forgot what episode we're on, but we'll go back and watch it eventually. We've done Big Bang Theory. We did Young Sheldon last year. So really, really fun. It's something that we really do like to do. Come watch your stream tomorrow night with Scrat. You're watching Scrat tomorrow night? What? So here's the show. Lost is a good one to binge too. But here's the show. I'm scrolling through Netflix, and I had seen this. It had popped up on my feed and went, oh yeah, we're going to watch that at some point. And please allow me to explain. Every December, like right after Thanksgiving, my wife and I will find out where all the new cheesy Christmas romance movies are going to be and what system or service they're going to be on. And we will mark them down, find out when they're going to come out, and then we will watch them with a bottle of wine and some cheese, and we will laugh ourselves hoarse because they're categorically awful. I mean, they're fun, they're cute, but it's essentially, the video version of diabetes giving. And but this is like a practice that we just done for ages, going through the Christmas season for us. And we'll find like ones that we hadn't seen before, and definitely have done Hallmark movies in the past. So I'm flipping through Netflix the other week, and I go, oh wait, hold on a minute here. That's a fantasy like series, a TV series, Hallmark Channel. What is it? Brought up the description, and the description is 3 generations of strong women, and it said something about time travel. And I'm going, oh my gosh, we are watching this now. Plunk. So the show is The Way Home. And I am expecting, like, go get the wine. We are going to sit here and make fun of this ridiculousness because it's going to be, quick production, just churning out 4 movies on the same set through the entire year. Like, that's what I'm expecting from Hallmark, because that's what they do, right? And yeah, Carrie loves getting there, but I do put my reports of watching these movies every Christmas on Facebook, which is people look forward to that. So that we're expecting that type of churn, because that's what we know Hallmark is for, right? And we watched the first episode. First off, Andie MacDowell's in it, and she's a phenomenal actress who I have always appreciated. So I'm going, wait a minute, what is she? What? And then it's got another character who was on Grey's Anatomy and then was in Supergirl, was the main mom. And I'm watching this and I'm just going, wait, this is like good. I mean, it's still Hallmark. It's still got the cheesy, like, oh, romance and, soulmates and like all that stuff is going on. But The Way Home is, it is this 4 seasons. There's 3 seasons on Netflix, and we literally bought the 4th and final season on Amazon and watched it in 2 days. It's essentially this exploration of like generational grief, and it's really well done from a standpoint. But there's one character, I don't want to give it away because it is a fantasy show, and there are some things like you just have to watch and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how they tied that in. Like, it's going to eventually, but they'll do something on the side and you'll forget about it, and then they'll show it's like, oh my gosh, that was that. Really, really cool. But there's one character who has to live through that old statement. It's like one day you and your friends went out to play and it was the last time and none of you knew it. There's one character who has to do that with multiple groups of people because of the trips that she's taking, and they're aging and she's not, because it's taking place in like months for her and it's like decade long for everybody else because the jumps aren't the same every time. And you watch her wrestling with this. It's really cool. Are there any cat type people in this game? Yes, I think there are cat type people in this game, King Eric. I just have to go look. So it's really neat. It's not like high drama. It's schmaltzy. There's like things that are really contrived, but it's a really cool exploration of this kind of generational grief and struggle and the story of family. how friendships grow and stretch and sometimes break and then come back together. Really, really cool. And we could not stop watching it. Like that's, I know a show is like engaging me if I want to go back and watch another one. And we would be up until like midnight for like 2 weeks straight. So we watched 40 episodes in 2.5 weeks. And I think the only days we took off were the days that like I was running a game. So yeah, you could say that I enjoyed it. It's not awesome. It does have a great soundtrack, like really good soundtrack, because one of the lead actresses can just flat out sing. And one of the characters who's playing, I can't give it away. One of the characters from one of the jumps, like he can really sing, and they appear on the soundtrack. So it's actually really good. My brain is chomping on it, and in fact, I just watched the final episode again this evening. Really, really cool. So if you have Netflix and you can find The Way Home, it's actually really good. Yeah, I can't watch The Boys. I watched the first episode and I was like, no, I don't need this, and I turned that off. It was a little much for me. The Way is like generations of women dealing with their grief. Let's go watch that. I'm like, woohoo! But it is fantasy. So, and I love the periods that they go to and how they dress all the periods of time. It's really, really cool because it goes from 1800s and then to the late 90s. It goes to the 70s. It's really wild. So nice. Yeah, it does get incredibly graphic. So if you find The Way Home, if you goes across your screen, just watch an episode or two. It's actually pretty good. I do enjoy it. And now I'm kind of showless. I need to watch this week's episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds and, oh my goodness, and Silo, because I do love Silo. Silo is good. I like shows that explore loss of memory and loss of history. So that was kind of cool. So, which is probably one of the reasons why The Way Home appeals to me, because it's about discovering history. It was cool. That's what I got going on. And I'm tired. So you all are awesome for hanging out and chatting. Sorry I am whispering because my throat does hurt and I'm got people asleep and I'm tired. So it's kind of all there. But I did enjoy showing off this thing, and I can't wait to like pull it down and cut out the bad bits and just kind of let you guys see it, because it's really neat. And I've got random thoughts that was trying to upload today, but again, my upload speed was crappy all day. And so I'll probably make that live either tomorrow or Sunday. It's all edited, it's uploaded, ready to go. Should be fun. I'll probably put it out for my patrons tomorrow. So if you are a paid patron of Caffeination, you will get that tomorrow. Excuse me. And looking forward. Any word on that? No, Skillum. Thank you for bringing it up. So that's 3 or 4 weeks before you hear back. There is a 0.00000000000000001% chance of that happening. But hey, I put my name in. So they were looking for freelance writers, for people who don't know what that is, for Terry Pratchett's Discworld, which would be really cool. Very good. So you got faith. Thanks, guys. I did not do it expecting to do it. I just doing it as an exercise. Be like, okay, I can do this. Would be fun. So, all right, everybody, you all have a wonderful evening, because this was a lot of fun, even though I'm tired and my internet was dying on me. But you all are great and have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you hopefully pretty soon. Talk to you later.